Welcome to another episode of Clouds of Meaning with your host Thabang. Today I'm sitting with Mr. Mishek Kekana, aka Daddy Mesh, and who's known for Dads in the Picture, and also has another organization, Rele Meba. We'll get into that. But thank you for joining me. How are you?
I'm well, Daddy Tlaka. It's an honor to be here.
Yeah, thank you very much. I mean, so we'll just get into it, because I know you are somebody who needs to be places and do things, So Dads in the Picture. What's that about? How come you decided to form such an organization in South Africa at this point in time?
Well, at this point in time, it's a 7-year journey thus far. So
yeah.
We've been at it for a while. That's in the picture. The name itself says it all, to say we need to get more men involved in the picture.
Yeah.
And now Dad, as it's loosely used as a father, we're more extending the father role and saying there's uncles, there's big brothers, there's other people that children interact with, pastors, coaches. So we're saying all of those, they need to be in the picture of children, and a positive picture by that. So it is a positive fatherhood movement that when we started, well, it was launched in 2012 and officially became registered as a non-profit organization in 2013. The journey of that started actually 10 years before 2012. Personal journey.
What sparked it?
You grow up. I mean, when we grew up, there was always that urban life and that rural life, the urban where, due to the then government, it was only for the grown-ups who were working. So the children had to somehow, be, even if they were born in the township, they had to be shipped off to the grannies. So I was one of those that ended up growing, having been born Kosovo, ended up go Hammanskraal and with my grandparents.
Where about in Hammanskraal?
Surumani.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I see where that is.
If you go to Surumani, every second person knows me.
Okay.
Yeah, and they know me, I think, about the positive things more than the negative ones.
You do milega positive things.
Exactly, so that's where That's in the Picture came up, because I could see the difference between myself and my cousins. Well, we grew up as brothers, but they were really my cousins. Banaba, the aunties and the uncles, and come school holidays, come Christmas, come birthdays, there was always a difference. We running around grandma trying to keep everybody together in one place and the same level, but the reality is always come out to say you don't even know your father, you know your father from across the road. You actually have a father who takes care of you, and then that pain, it kills the little ones, because they witness it and they see it. It matters not what the parents say, it matters not how they try and cushion it. They grow with that emptiness, which obviously, when I started reaching out to the dads in 2012 and I saying, I have this idea, it was based on saying it is not just about me, it's about every other child that's out there.
And what activities do you normally get up to with the other men in the group? Is it just men? Is it women as well?
It is men.
It's men.
Strategically. You're saying,
so you want the dads
women can do things. They can run with things. And they can get the numbers. And they do it every day. And they are supported every day. So we don't want to disturb that. We want to focus on the men. And the one thing that we need to understand is that if we can get better women in society, it benefits the men and the children.
Better men.
Similarly, better women. That was the first example. Second one is similarly better men. We only believe, there's certain sayings that promotes women as capable, strong, resilient over men. But the truth is, it's not. It shouldn't be. It mustn't be. Because if we promote that, then we will not see the end to the scourge of abuse and abandonment. I mean, it makes it easier for someone who's been told they're irrelevant to walk away from the project, which is where the dads just simply walk away because from their own upbringing, from their own mothers, they've been told, leave the child with the mother. So it is something that's been planted in them. So when we blame them, for me it becomes a bit of problematic, because now we're trying to get a 40-year-old to change his mindset. I mean,
and he's been told all this time,
all the 40 years,
you're unimportant, or you need to, the children will stay with the mother, and now
every day. And he sees it on social media, he sees it with his friends, he sees it with his neighbors. He gets to believe it, you know? And that one man down the road who actually does the opposite, who takes care of the children and washes dishes, cleans the house, walks the wife to the bus every morning, he is silent. He does it quietly because he dare not share it.
I mean, would you share such things? Because
that's the point. So now the one who has the willingness to change doesn't have a sample, doesn't have a sort of a model to say, but that guy is doing it. Maybe I can talk to him. So we are basically saying the ones who want to change don't have the support, don't have where to go.
I see. So, I mean, two things, but the first thing I want to ask you is, so, you know, I've said the story before. When I was growing up, I remember when I was supposed to get married, one of the fears I had was, I'm gonna become a dog. So I thought, so many, because men are dogs, right, in inverted commas. So, and I don't think that a man decides to be that way. So it must be a natural progression that you get married, then you become a dog. So I'm gonna become a dog, you know.
Actually,
until
you know, with marriage, you go in there with different expectations. So it's not even a progression into a dog. You just get a different label because certain expectations
are put on you.
The same expectations that might not have been communicated clearly. Because in the rush, remember, our women as well have got the socialization aspect. So she's socialized from birth that she must grow, take care of herself, look beautiful, go to school a bit,
and then this guy will come,
give this guy a child, this guy will build a house, give you a car, you're set for life. Now if you find that ideal, that type of woman, and you are this good guy, Thabang, you mean well with everything, and you're saying, let me help you. You walk into the kitchen, she looks at you, thinks, no, this one is trying to disempower me. You try to take care of the children, she's looking at, how do I control this person to get the other things?
So it's a nice way of looking at it, you know, I suppose the power dynamics. What I wanted to also ask is, in a context where, I mean, the Me Too movements, the men are trash.
Excellent movements, by the way. So how do we, so I agree, I think something must be done. My question was more, how do we then merge, so these two conversations, one conversation I want to say, there are things that as men that we are doing that are not right, that need to change. So that's one conversation. And the other one, and not to confuse it with being a man is innately bad. Like, you know, if you're a boy child, you're just bad by nature. It almost seems as if the two can't go together, but I think they can. I think we can say there are things we need to stop, but men aren't necessarily bad because you're just a man, then you're just bad. Men, as I always say, you know, you can't say men cheat, you can't say men are dogs. You gotta say my wife. My wife says I'm a dog. I'm a dog.
So don't generalize.
My son said, no. People generalize a lot of things. It's like women are beautiful. It's a nice thing, gesture, but in actual fact what you are saying is the women in your life, the women that you've interacted with are beautiful. It's a good thing. But now when you say men are dogs, you're talking about the men you've interacted with. Maybe the men your friends have told you about. You know, maybe the men you've seen in your street are dogs.
I see. So we should speak more accurately and not use blanket statements to then, I suppose, use one blanket to cover everyone. But
then remember, we have media on the side, which would prefer you to say men are dogs rather than to say my husband is a dog. So half the time,
they don't get traction.
Media is influencing us.
You
know, it becomes that And even when we say a movement of men are trash, it's born out of the right things, trying to address the things in the right way, but the implementation is falls flat, because half the time the people who run movements, just like me, I'm not an exception. I started That's in the Picture positive fatherhood movement because I have a fatherhood wound. But now I need to heal. Like I say, it took me 10 years to implement this because I had to go on my own personal journey and heal from that wound before I can take other men on the journey. Because then the issue of judgmental comes in. The issue of not believing in what you're doing in actual fact comes in. When we say men are trash, the people, I've met some of the ladies who ran that program. I'm not expert, but when they open their mouths, you wonder how they function in their own space in society, because the pain that comes out. But then we throw money at them to help them run the campaign whilst they are not well.
Then we perpetuate hurt.
So we can never resolve the problem, because we are building plans and building programs on the basis of the pain. We do not go out. Most of the social development supported institutions, whether it's abandoned children or whether it's children who have got difficulties, they are run by people who were previously in the situation. But have they healed them? Have they taken them through a program? That's why you get these kind of abuses. They say in this what home there's been these abuse. People abuse children at crèche. If you look at it, why is this person running a daycare center? Because she didn't have anywhere to go when she was young.
And do you get a lot of backlash? Do you? So when you said, with Dad's in the Picture, have you ever been at a meeting, at a forum, at an event where you clashed with people who have different views about?
Well, the obvious one is that our women are on the ball. They want in. They want into everything that we start, everything that men do. They want in. And the one backlash is, I say no.
So you get people saying, can we come and help? And
like no, because when they come in, they change the composition. We've got a camp out coming. They will want to decide the size of the camp out. They will want to decide how it's run. They will want to decide what food is fed. So ultimately, a camp out that costs 500 rands would cost 1,000 rands. That's excluding most of the dads who cannot afford. So they have a certain standard which is different from ours. I have a personal standard, but for the organization, I have a standard that is more inclusive. So it's not the intent to be exclusive, but because they have a certain standard, appearance is everything. This is that. We do programs, for instance, the camp outs. It's a father and children. Whether they are his children or whether he's the uncle to them, a teacher to them, doesn't matter. But you can't just come and walk in as a man and say, I'm here for the camp out. No. You gotta bring a child, because whatever we do, we link into the child. We've got picnics, same understanding that you're coming there, you come with a child. If you don't have a child, go rent a child. Go to your uncle, go to your sister.
But just find a child somewhere.
Yes, a sister is parenting alone, go reach out to that. You're the dad to that child. At church, there's two ladies there with children that need some kind of motivation. Obviously within the obvious risk factors taken into account. But the problem is people who do mentorship, some of them, they do it for the wrong reasons. They're trying to get closer to the mom, and it falls flat 6 months later.
So the intention is not good.
There's an issue with stepfathers, that some people come in and step up, but they don't have the intention of being there for a long haul. Their relationship goes worse. He becomes a second man to disappear from the boy's or the daughter's life. What message does that say to the boy or the girl? By the way, parenting is about both. So That's in the Picture is not about dads, men and sons. No, it's about all children.
Do you think that men and women are fundamentally different? So you're saying?
I'd say fundamentally different in how they do things.
Okay. In what way?
How you would accept that a boy comes into the house looking dirty because he's been playing soccer and doing all of that. But the mother would be on some, diaparo, or failing, this and that. You understand he's been playing.
It's actually good that he got roughed up a bit.
He would come home and say, I was slept today by this young man and I slept back. Mommy would be on some, no. Dad would be like, that's my boy. You understand that? So, and all of those things, they are wiring the child differently. So that's why we say the best parent is both. Because you bring your 100% share, I bring my 100% share, and we influence the child. And it's not about us being opposites, no. I mean, most of the things that research is there that says, children that have a positive male in their lives, are way better off. Women can raise sons and they can raise daughters, but I've seen some of the sons that they've raised in they call it single, I call it solo.
You call
my
it?
mother was solo.
Solo parenting.
Yes. My mother was never single. She was not married. But as a parent, she wasn't single. My grandmother was there, my grandfather, the auntie, everybody was there. And that's where we get it wrong. That now, when we say somebody is single parenting, it's a solo parent. And that can never be allowed. That can never be promoted, because at the end of the day, the same people that says, my mother raised me as a single parent, they are not telling the full story. And because media enjoys that, media should easily be, when you say your mother raised you alone, what do you mean?
Was there no one else there?
The chances are, prior to 94, for instance, all of us were raised by an army. All of us. Nobody was raised by a solo woman. Maybe there might be 1%, 0.1%.
Somewhere.
How I wouldn't even start to think how it would happen. Because you knew you had a home. You take your children back home. You did everything. It wasn't even a choice. The minute you phone or you send a letter, you say, Nkulelwe, your mom will be here tomorrow to come pick up the child. So please, let's be honest, because sometimes I think we tell half the truth, and if we told the full truth, we would find the better solutions.
Don't you think, though, it's convenient for things for the half truth and negativity? I don't know if you can. Is it possible to spread positivity on media, on social media, or if you want traction, you have to be negative and highlight negative things? To me, it seems that it's almost as if you're trying to do good work, that doesn't sell the newspaper, that doesn't help for good viewing. You have to be negative.
Look, in South Africa, the majority of the people do not own the newspaper. It's a few elite people that owns the newspaper, that owns the TV. So whatever discussions, I've challenged a few journalists and I said, I do not respect you as a journalist because you are working for someone, and he who pays you decides, sets the agenda. So I don't care how objective you think you are. When you take that footage to your boss, editor, or whoever, they decide whether it's gonna work for their advantage or not. So unless you're a journalist on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, then you can't be authentic.
Unless you are free to speak your mind.
Free means you're not getting paid by someone. How many are there that can say I'm a free journalist? I can say what I want to say because that's in the picture as it is now. It's not being sponsored, and I think that's one of the reasons why we're not even getting sponsors. Because they know we do not want somebody's agenda. We have our own agenda. All of the organizations that are running in the space of healing, they're getting their money from overseas, and that money comes with an agenda. That's why Africa is in trouble.
To perpetuate certain ideas, and what do you think we should watch out for then? I mean, if you could warn us some of the things that you've observed, and you said you see this thing, you need to watch out for. What are some of those things that you've observed? The ideas that are trying to be peddled and.
Look, I know of one newspaper that was started probably 10 years ago. They started selling it at 1 rand or something. Now it's gone to the same, maybe 3 rands as others. That was specifically designed for black people.
We won't mention any names.
We won't mention the name, but it was specifically designed. Even the journalists, they know what to report. Why are we buying that newspaper? And it's worse, the people who are buying this newspaper are our educators who should know better. Our police, all of these people. So that's an agenda that, I mean, really, it shouldn't. I don't know how they get even the license to run such a paper, but maybe there isn't one because they, you know, it is so difficult because if you look at every law that we have in the country, 94 came. And we amended certain paragraphs and lines in the laws. We never changed the laws. We are living in the same laws that we had with the previous government. So we are not free. And as such, whoever comes and says,
to this line,
here's the money. You know, the only people who could help us emancipate us with funding, for instance, would be the government. But unfortunately, they themselves came through the apartheid.
And they also invite other people.
And they owe people to get there. So the minute you owe someone, when you say you're building a hall, he comes and he says, but you owe me. So you can buy material from me. But I think your hall should be like this. And then you've lost it.
And you can't even say no.
You can't say no. You know, he who pays owns.
They say what pays stays, and I think we live in that culture. When people have money, they can order around. And the other thing I was curious to talk to you about is back to men and women being different, but this idea of blended families.
Beautiful. Love the idea.
Blended families. Well, it's an interesting word, blended families. And what do you think about that?
Look, in our, I think our history as, for instance, black people, we've always had blended families. It's not a new thing. Now we're trying to make it a new thing. But the one thing that one should remember is that when we had the blending previously, there was these cultural, traditional rules, for instance. Mwana wa mathomo ha tsamai mo hae ke ngwana koko. We never understood it. We never even wanted to understand it. We took it because we were broken inside, we were hurting inside. We start saying, "Na ngwana go tsamaya le nna ko ke yang." They knew or this is the child who's gonna cause chaos. Because that man and this child are not of the same blood. Not to say it cannot happen, not to say blending cannot fully happen, but the problem is we come with expectations.
True.
I, as a father, having a daughter, she as a mother, as a young lady without a child, I expect her to love my daughter
the same way you love her.
Yes. And that's wrong. I must just love my daughter enough, 100%. She must bring whatever she brings. But if I love my daughter, she will, you know, I would influence her in a way. You know, I would over time influence her. Yes. But she also has to be well emotionally, spiritually, you know, in every other aspect for her to be open to learning from me and letting me lead the way. But the minute you get into that relationship where the one partner who is not the biological parent, be it the mother or the father, wants to control the child,
then it becomes problematic.
You gotta love the child. To a level where the child feels the love for you to influence the child. Until you love the child at that level, you can't influence them. You're gonna abuse them. So blended families, unfortunately, we can't run away from. It's gonna happen. But before you blend, make sure that the ingredients, the two main ingredients, can manage the blending. They have managed. They are managing their expectations. They are onboarding. You know, in work scenarios, we talk about onboarding. You need to onboard. I mean, I must have a relationship with my son that says, you know, my son, these are the values I'm trying to instill in you, and this is what you can get out of me, and this is what is a no-no. When she comes in, I need to say, my love, this is my boy. This is the values I'm pushing for him. This is that. But I need to workshop her to a point where she buys into it and maybe takes one or two things out and says this, you know, but it's a negotiation.
So you work together to create something.
Only then can she support what's left of it.
Yeah.
But in most cases we don't.
Yeah.
So she comes and she says, I'm a mother. And mothers know everything.
Yeah.
There's a saying in Setswana,
Yeah.
it doesn't say Mosadi.
So it hasn't been edited.
It's gotta be
Yeah.
the biological mother she'll kill.
Yeah.
Not just any other woman. And until we get that understanding, then we will know there's work to be done in blending a family.
Yeah.
You know, one of you is coming from a relationship that failed.
Yeah.
They want to come in here and fix this, fix the mistakes from the previous relationship.
Yeah. And themselves.
They are not ready.
Yeah.
You know, so now in that mix, you want to add a child.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen.
And so you're also touching on the idea of divorce, you know. It almost sounds like marriage is a swear word now. And what do you think is happening in the space of marriage, and how we look at it, and what are some of the issues we need to deal with there?
Marriage, for me, marriage is the best thing that can ever happen.
Yeah.
Having been married and divorced and remarried, I understand the one thing. I can never say marriage is bad.
Yeah.
It is the true, very different in most cases, individuals. Different expectations, different goals, different levels, different age. Everything is different. It's like you take 2 puzzle boards and you take the puzzles, 5 puzzles from this one, and you bring them across, and you take 5 to that one, try to match them.
You could have a problem.
Happen. The only way you can get some traction is to reshape those puzzles and reshape some of the board. So we need to have that understanding that until those puzzles, you know, can be sort of consolidated, you know, one can heal from their previous relationship. The other one can also heal, and there's a willingness to build. And there's a question, okay, so what is your aspirations? What do you want in life? I mean, you marry somebody, I mean, one thing I tell my children is that until they're at least 30, I don't want to hear about marriage. I want them to find themselves. Because finding yourself in a marriage has one disadvantage, in my personal opinion. That you might just find that you are not the person you thought you were 10 years ago. And the person in front of you, whom you've sworn to be with for the rest of your life,
it's a problem now.
Is nowhere near. You understand what I'm saying? So perhaps we also marry too early. And because of other factors. I mean, the society says you must have children while you are young. I don't know which research they are using, but it's a topic for another day. They know why. I ask them, and you say, okay, I can't have a child when I'm 35. That's the ladies in most cases. And I say, I've had this. Where did you get that research? And how recent is the research? Are you talking about 10, 20 years ago when medicine was an issue? When we didn't know what we were doing? Or are you talking about now in 2019 where, you know, you could have children at that age? Yes, you don't want to be parenting children, taking children to primary in your retirement, but who says that? And how does it influence your life as an individual? But do you want to risk getting a divorce at 25 because when you want to have children early? And anyway, who said you must have children? So do we ask the questions? Why am I getting married? Why am I having children?
Should we have licenses?
You understand what I'm saying? So
getting married,
so which brings us back to dads in the picture to say a young person who's got a mother and a father in the same house or positively influencing them, you know, research has shown they tend to marry later in life. The daughter is not trying to replace the father. The son is not trying to replace the mother. The son is not trying to prove that he can be a better man than his father.
Which are some of the things that trap people. And I think the idea you're also touching on is the idea of knowing yourself very well. Because I do agree, I think it's very difficult to navigate the world if you don't have your own identity, you don't understand what makes you tick, because then you commit to things and later you realize, but hang on, I'm not like this, and then now you must do something with the people and the things that you started, not understanding yourself.
You walk into a marriage with grade 12, and then inside the marriage you get 3 degrees and a doctorate. Come on.
Because you'll be radically different.
You have the right, but rather get those before you get married, because then you know your value. You don't even know the value you're bringing into the table. But right now you're getting in there, we're letting, as parents, we are at fault. But obviously communication is a problem. If my son is going to bring someone to me at 25 and says I'm getting married, that means I have failed. As I've had that conversation ever since he was 10 to say, this is what I think of marriage, this is what I believe. When you say to me, I am ready to marry, I want you to answer these questions. My daughter, when you say to me you're ready to marry, you must at least know his surname. Even know where he comes from, what kind of food he likes. That means you've done the homework. That means you are investing in something you understand.
Which I find people don't take the time to know themselves and learn about the other person.
Because they are answering the questions that socialization told you. It says you are a girl, you must grow to be beautiful, you must find a job, you must find a man, you must have children for the man, he'll build your house. So she's doing that. You are a boy, you must get some education, you must get a job, nice job, paid job, get a beautiful wife, get that. So we go walking
in that script. And so the other thing you touched on was now with the parenting, because I'm just taking it from when you said, so mothers and fathers, when somebody's staying with parents who are warm, who are present, who are doing those things, people then marry later, and which makes me think about parenting. And with parenting, I'm wondering, like, what's your opinion on like the violence in the schools?
Look, children act out what they feel. Simple as that. When a child is a bully, research is out there to say they are feeling a pain. Either they are being bullied themselves or they are being abused
somewhere.
And in a way they are saying, this is my space. These little ones I'm gonna smash.
Because sometimes I also get smashed at home.
To displace the pain. And also that is what they know. Every day daddy is telling mommy, you're not listening, and claps mommy. So if I'm gonna tell this young boy or whoever, and they are not listening, best way to do is clap them. And not only that, my neighbor is doing the same thing. The guy opposite is doing the same thing. My uncle, I had mommy talking to my uncle's wife on the phone. He's doing the same thing. Oh wow. Then you get one of those programs on TV. They're doing the same thing. And they are not doing it, probably it's not a movie about rape, but in the movie there is rape. The fact that it's there, and after 45 minutes there is a resolution to the rape issue, the child might not be there to watch the rest of the movie. That's why we have age restrictions. The fact that he's seen it done.
So that's an idea introduced.
It's introduced
to the child's mind.
But then remember, big business, it's not about today's profit. They're also creating customers for tomorrow.
In terms of addiction, the product needs to be so good that whatever it is that they have, repeat customers.
Exactly. So whatever they put out there, I mean, walk into any toy store. There's two different worlds: a boy's world and a girl's world. Girl's world is nice, bright. You could sit there the whole day.
Calm, relaxed.
Go to the boys' world. Even you get scared to walk through. There's dinosaurs, there's knives, there's the colors are gory.
So what do you
Why are we allowing that?
Do you think then the toys should be the same or the toys should be different?
Look, if we're saying we've decided it's pink and blue, let's go with the blue shades for the boy, the green shades, not the darkest of the shades. And why the dinosaurs? She's got a pink dinosaur. Why the green and black and you know, the next thing there's gun. I mean, my friends will tell you, if you come to my house, you can't bring a toy gun. Even your children can't come to my house with toy guns and snakes and all of that. I'm gonna tell you.
So are you saying because that then introduces those negative
I mean, how are you gonna play with a sword?
No, you must stab someone.
You must stab someone.
Don't you think? And
they're not educational.
What about
whereas the girls' ones? What about all educational?
People who say that, but boys need those kind of things because they must, you know, because when you grow up, then as a boy, when they smack you there, outside, you need to be able to defend yourself.
Of course, you defend yourself, kill someone. Why are the jail full? Jail is full because of that mentality.
So what do you think is the right message? What do you think boys should be taught?
I don't need a toy to bring the aggression in me. Naturally, if I have it, it's there. It doesn't need to be nurtured. So that is so wrong. But remember, some of the studies that were done previously were done with the creating customer
before
mentality.
So that was the whoever funded it wanted to just find out,
and we've accepted it as we haven't changed it.
But that makes sense, because I think even social media, the behind the design, they study human beings, and then so the things that we respond to, like likes, how they cause the brain to respond.
Of course.
So I get
you get wired if you sit long enough in a pub. That smell of beer becomes your best smell.
It's like a casino. So that makes perfect sense. And what do you think about this idea of there's an idea now, they're trying to create, I think they call them gender neutral schools, where so it's in a class, you don't refer to boys as boy or girl, you don't say to girls, oh, you're so lovely, you don't use words like that, and to boys. So it's like neutral, even the colors, even the toys, you change the packaging, so to do away with things that separate boys from girls, including clothes and things like that. What do you think of that?
Sounds like fun. Except at that age, there are 4 hours in class. The other 20 hours, what happens? So the influence has to be, at the bigger scale. In the family. This boy of mine, he disconnects with violence when he walks into the gate of the school. The minute the 4 hours is over, he gets back to that. The reason why this in the picture says we want to bring the father and the young people and the children, because we're saying whatever that is being done for the young children to make them aware of, the good, the bad, and all that, he must be receptive to it as a father. Because he can't do the opposite. If he does the opposite, they're gonna fail. So if they think they're gonna make that happen at the school, but not make sure it is accepted, encouraged, and fostered outside, it's not gonna work. It's as simple as that. Because they're gonna bring the same kids. They'll be bringing guns and knives to the school, and their own gory toys. You know how children, he gets a new toy, he takes it to school. It's a plastic gun, he takes it to school. Now you've got this whole beautiful place trying to wire them. It's
yes, I suppose, in fact, the time you spend with them, we must think about that.
We need to extend it beyond that.
And then speaking about time, with fathers, I went somewhere speaking with some of the men, and so I've been to different places, but one of the ideas that will come across would be, listen, Isha, I have to work. You see, I hear you talking about spending time with your children and things like that, but how does one strike the work-life balance? What I want to ask you is actually, what do you think is appropriate? How should, if somebody says, okay, I hear you, but how do I structure my day in such a way that I'm present for my family, I'm able to do the things that I'm supposed to do?
Remember those things that you're responding to. The socialization that you must end, you must do this, you must do that. We need to change that. In our little ones, we need to teach them differently. That it is not natural progression to get a job, buy a car, do that.
Who says it must happen that way?
Yes, because this becomes my Bible. This becomes what I prioritize as a man. So they are saying that they don't have time because the priorities are all wrong.
Actually, it's quite painful.
You've seen my calendar.
The fact of the matter is that maybe work is more important than your children.
That's what I was told. That's how I grew up knowing. And not only that, I've seen the men around me. Work is more important. Come on, Tatum Ruti spends 7 hours cooking on a Sunday. Okay. Let's not go there. But That's why when they say like a preacher doesn't give birth to another preacher.
Yeah, no, some of the times the children have a problem because they say, don't preach to me.
It is because when they're needing a father, you are not there as a father. You are a preacher at church, you are a preacher at home. That's why would I want to follow you? I wouldn't. If you are a nurse, and I'm thinking, every night my mom is gone. I need to help with homework, she's not here. My children are not going to suffer from this. I can never be a nurse. So it is not a matter of they can't do it. It's because it's not in their list of priorities. Thus they don't prioritize it. You know, and I always say, there was a time, I think 2 years ago, I changed my routine just for that. My children, they've got transport to school. I decided I'm going to cancel the morning shift and I'm going to take up the morning shift.
I actually enjoy that as well.
And I did the morning shift and in it I added gym. So basically the first 2 hours of their everyday life, I am with them. You know?
So by the time they get to school, they would have you wake them up a bit earlier.
Let's say we all wake up at say 4:45. By 5 o'clock we in the car. We get to gym, say 5:15. We are at gym until say 6:15. And then from there I start dropping them off. The honest truth is it's the same program that they have. The transport picks them up at flipping 5 o'clock.
You're right. Actually, and that's ample time to actually influence them.
You hear everything, their friends, what they like, their teachers, all of that. You will hear about it. But now you need to pick your battles. If you feel that you can't do mornings because your shift starts at 6, fine. Maybe you knock off at 2:30, 3. Prioritize them then to go pick them up from school, take them home. You know, it might even be a matter of transport. Please drop them off at library. I will pick them up at library. And then you get home, you settle them in, you go to your meetings and whatever. We all have time for what we believe is important.
Your highest values, that's what you pursue. You make room for the things you care about. Okay, so what do you like talking about? What's burning in your heart and mind at the moment?
Heart and mind at the moment.
Right now, this is what you're dealing with.
It's the wastage that we do as people. Be it in the space of leadership, government for that matter, and leadership companies. I forgive the companies because they have profits to make, but government, we have issues. I look at our national broadcaster and I say, I see them hiring the board of so-and-so. The broken people are in the boards. The broken people are in parliament. The broken people are running our lives. And one of the biggest problems is that we don't show up. The same conversation we had about busy. When they say there's a community meeting,
we don't care.
The broken, really broken ones, and broken in the sense that they don't even have a job. They don't even have a home. They go to the meetings. The ones who think they've made it do not. So what happens is we can end up being ruled by the same broken who never had anything, who've got no idea about management. You've done the courses, you are fine-tuned, companies fine-tuned you, but our public sector is run by broken people who are clueless. The few who have degrees need to be debriefed. I mean, how do you, as a matron, as a sister in a hospital, you know, allow an old person to sit on the floor when it's cold? If you listen to the way they talk to them in public hospitals, they don't have compassion, they don't have, but you can understand that they are hurting. If you listen to teachers telling children how they don't care whether they pass or fail, how do you do that? Policemen telling women to prove that they were raped. You know, policemen telling men to say, I mean, go back and sort your problems out, and then the woman getting killed tomorrow. We have magistrates who stand there, who are going through their own divorces, but they are presiding over other people's divorces. How does that happen? So we have a broken society trying to build a society. It's not gonna happen. We need people who at least have a light and idea to step up If it means you have to go and wrestle with the pigs in a local community meeting,
then you must
if
do
it
that.
means you have to go to the local
you should be too classy
party, yes, party meeting to get yourself elected so that you can go to the provincial, national conference.
Take part.
You understand what I'm saying? So we, well, somebody once said clever blacks. I wouldn't say clever blacks, but we the clever blacks are standing behind and folding our arms.
Thinking that we are free.
Yes. Because we've been taken and been sold those dreams. And now that the companies have locked us in with mortgages and all of that, that's all that we think is important. And now the country is being run by people who are not fit for the positions. People are going into careers. Psychologists. Some of the psychologists are very sick. I'm sorry, but
no, it's true. It's true. It's true. Some relationships don't work.
You understand what I'm saying? So how are you going to help the next person? It's not to say you don't qualify to help the next person, but let's give you a program that says, you know what, how is things in your life? How are you? Heal, so that when you go to the next person and you help them out, you don't judge them. You know, there are psychologists you go to and you say, I mean, I've got one dead now. Funny, in the last 2 months, I've had 2, 3, 4 white men coming to me to ask for help, and I look at them like, I'm a daddy. I don't know white problems. But when they start talking to me, I realize they have the same problems we have. That's a bit more
person is a person. You know, somebody said, you know, if you're a drunk, whether you get drunk of expensive whiskey or like alcohol you're a drunk.
You are a drunk. So we have that situation whereby we are not having the right people in the right spaces, and we are not even thinking about it, because as a politician, I'm thinking of my 5-year term in office. 5-year term in office is not going to solve anything. It's just going to line somebody's pockets, and that's it. If we want to sort out parenting, we need to sort out the whole system. From conception to the day you die, you are parented or parenting, one of the two. So how do we then bring this together? How do we say our little girls and boys, they're either in the house together doing dishes or outside playing together? If the boy is sent outside and the girl is coached for 20 years, at the end of the 20 years when they
want them to come together,
he is disadvantaged. He is handicapped. Let's be honest about that. And then they say you have a choice, and I say, bull dust. What is a choice? A choice is based on what I know and what I'm exposed to.
And it's so deeply entrenched in your mind. It's very
come
difficult.
about choices here, because choices, if I ate white bread for the last 20 years. That's the only bread I see when I walk into a shop. So don't tell me about choice. You can give me the adverts and say brown is better than white. I'm still gonna go for white. 1% of us can make a good choice. That's how I see it. Those are the ones that have that enlightenment. Those are the ones that maybe they can even hear the word of God. For those who are Christians, to say, you know what, or the word of Allah, to say, change and do this, and then they can accept it, they can change. 99%, I would assume, I want us to assume that 99% of the people can make good choices on themselves. They need to be coached, which means every service that's offered to the people needs to be coached right. Your daycare center helpers, how do we hire them? Do we hire them because they're cheap to pay?
Are they trained well?
Our nannies at home? I mean, most of the black families that I know, they change nannies every 6 months. What lessons do those bring to the children? If you're so busy making money, who is parenting your children? Isn't that your biggest asset? You're going to leave them 10 million in policies and stuff, and they're going to go and get the guy next door who's a druggist. Within 6 months, they're broke. What have you done? You haven't provided.
Sure. I mean, the time just went by so quickly. I mean, it's wonderful talking. It's great. It's great. I hope we can talk about it again. But really, thank you for the opportunity. Any final thoughts? I mean, anything that we missed for now? Obviously, there are other things we could talk forever.
We could talk forever. But I would say, as far as parenting goes, as far as marriages goes, which are the two things that we picked up. I mean, you know, there's a saying that it does not necessarily end bad. It starts bad.
Totally agree.
So we meet as a couple. Okay, we meet as people in a tavern. End up a couple, parents. You know, our values might be different. We might not have had the time to evaluate who we are, what we want. So we need to invest more time in ensuring that our young ones, as parents, they make informed choices and decisions, and we communicate better. You know, we need to move away from this finger pointing stance where women apparently communicate better. But I always say there's a difference between communicating better and sharing your feelings.
And verbalizing even.
Yes, because at the end of the day, you can say all the things that are on your mind. If you're not gonna take mine, we're not communicating. And we both in the thick end. Marriage, preferably let's leave it to a bit later, after we found who we sort of are. It can be complete, but if you are meant to be in IT or in whatever managerial position, get there before you bring another life that's got its own goals and try to convert it into your goals, because then that becomes a recipe for disaster going down the line. But there's always hope, just that we need to take action and not only hope.
Daddy Mesh, it's been a pleasure, and all the best. We'll definitely chat soon.
Okay, I'm honored.